video is a little bit different. You're gonna get ready with me for a date.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
If only I knew. Hey guys, it's Ndivisi and welcome back to my channel. If you've never seen my face before, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you're following me on Instagram because, well, I post cute selfies, so wow. So I never thought I'd upload a video like this, but as you can tell from the title, I have been curved, I've been bamboozled, however you want to call it, I got played. So even though this is so cringe, I really felt like I needed to make this video. I know I'm not the only one who has experienced something like this. If this can just help anyone to feel like they're not alone and to finally take that last step to move on from that person, then talking about how I got rejected will have been worth it. If you don't care about my sob story, then fast forward to whatever minute mark I put here, and that's where I'll get into my tips on how to move on from someone who's just not that into you. If you have been following my channel and have seen my last video, I'll link it here somewhere. If you watch the video, I kind of mentioned how in like February, it was a really tough month for me. It was mainly difficult because grad school has just been one of the most challenging things I've ever done, but it was also really challenging because I met a boy. Isn't that how all great tragedies start? Comment down below if you've fallen for someone before who doesn't feel the same way. Guilty. Basically, I was seeing this guy. Everything was great at the beginning. He put in a lot of effort. We had great chemistry. The conversation, it was so easy. I kept thinking it feels so natural. That doesn't happen very often with me. There are few people where I feel like I really can just totally be myself, and it was crazy to me how quickly I felt that way. I was pretty swept off my feet by this guy, and I think I was in denial at how quickly I was falling because I was trying to play it cool and be like, I'm fine, I'm chill, like whatever happens. But that wasn't the case. I was like really into this guy. He planned the cutest dates. On one of our dates, he took me to a comedy club, which is like my dream date. I didn't even realize was a dream date until we went on the dream date. Like, this guy was inside my head, okay? He really paid attention when I talked and remembered things that I had said that I didn't even remember that I had said, and noticed things about me that I've never even noticed about myself. When I'd go over to his house, he'd have my favorite wine ready for me. You know, we had like some really deep conversations and talked about our past and our futures and things we wanted to do this summer and future dates that we could go on. And we texted like all day, every day, even when he went on holiday, which I feel like when people go on holiday, you just expect not to hear from them, especially when guys go on like a bros trip or a lad holiday. And he would send me like pictures of the things that they were doing, and I thought that was just the cutest thing. Like, he was making it clear that I was a priority to him. You know, he had told me he wanted a relationship. That's what he was looking for.
Why you always lying?
And I feel like he was putting in way more effort than I even was. And now that I think about it, he mentioned on multiple occasions marrying me, which is like, I mean, can you blame him? Wife material. So there was no doubt in my mind that this guy was invested in this. By our second date, we had pretty much said that we weren't really pursuing other people. So I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, this guy is probably gonna be my next boyfriend. I didn't really like say that to anyone, but in my head I was like, oh my God, this is like, that's the vibe I was getting. As you can guess, as quickly as this whirlwind romance started, that's how quickly it ended. Soon enough, he wasn't asking, when can I see you next? I wasn't getting the good morning and good night texts, and responses went from being immediate to hours to me waiting days to just get a response on a simple question. Looking back, I'm pretty sure he was trying to do a slow fade, but I was not having it. PSA number one, if you have gone on more than 2 dates with someone, it's just rude to ghost them or do a slow fade or breadcrumb them, whatever you want to call it. I know it's not fun, but don't be a coward. You literally just have to send a text message that says, hey, I'm not interested, or I just don't see this going anywhere. Just put the person out of their misery. Going ghost on them, it's not cool, it's manipulative. I can see you looking at all of my Instagram stories. I know you're alive.
Answer your phone.
Just be upfront with them, okay? I called him out on it. Eventually I got a text back and he said that he just wasn't sure what he wanted, which translates to he knows exactly what he wants, it's just not me. So I just want to make it clear, the fact that he isn't into me doesn't make him a bad person. Does it mean he has bad taste? Yes, but that doesn't mean he's a bad person. So I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty hurtful. I was really frustrated and just disappointed in the situation and in myself.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
My last relationship was pretty toxic, and after that ended, I found it really hard to trust guys again and open up to someone. I would go on dates, but I would always find something wrong with the guy, just not even give him a chance to get close to me. Sure, it was just a way that I was sabotaging my love life because I just was terrified of getting hurt again. And that's why I've been single for the past 3 years. Yikes. So when I moved to London, I looked at it as not only just a fresh start for my career, but also I looked at it as a fresh start for my life in general. And I was like, you know what? I'm ready to date again. Fresh start, new life, new me. You know, I was finally ready to be vulnerable and trust again. And unfortunately, picked the wrong guy, because this was the first guy I had really let my walls down for in 3 years. I was like, you know what? He might hurt me, but I just have to trust that he won't. And so that's what I did. Because not only were his words saying that he wanted to be with me and that this was going somewhere, but his actions were lining up with it too. Like, there were literally no signs that I shouldn't trust this person. When it ended, what hurt the most wasn't really that I thought we were a perfect match and this was like my soulmate and my future husband, and it wasn't any of that. Because if I'm being honest, there were definitely things I would have changed about him, but when you're into someone, you don't care about that because they make you happy, so that doesn't matter. So it wasn't even that. It was just more so that I had opened up to someone who claimed to care about me, shared these personal things, shared how I had been hurt and abandoned in the past, and to have them hold your hand, look you in the eye, and say, trust me, I'm never gonna hurt you like that. To have them say that and then turn around and do the exact thing that you were terrified they would do, it's pretty much a slap in the face. For a lot of people, I know this isn't just me, rejection is a major trigger, right? It can bring up really old wounds that you are not trying to face right now. I kept replaying over and over in my head, how did I miss the signs? Where did I go wrong? Did he mean anything he ever said to me? Like, was this just a joke? Am I being punked? But then I'd flip and I'd be like, no, you know what? Maybe he is a really great guy and it's me. I'm the problem. That must be it. It's probably because I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm too fat. I'm not funny enough. Well, okay. Actually, no, I never thought I wasn't funny enough. But for me, what I couldn't get over is why did he end things? But that tends to be the problem. When you end things with someone you never dated, you don't get that closure. Maybe he's a player, maybe he's a sociopath, maybe he's a really nice guy who's just confused. Maybe his pet hamster died and he's taking it really hard, okay? This video is not meant to bash him. People are people, they make mistakes. You know, I have no idea what he was going through at that time. I have no idea why he ended things, and I'm okay with that. You know why? Because you don't have to understand something to move on from it. Regardless of why he left, he left. He's not coming back, and why would I want some random dude who doesn't think I'm good enough to stick around? Why would I give him control over my emotions and let him ruin one of the greatest times in my life? And this is why I wanted to make this video, because honestly, when it happened, I was in a really low place. My self-confidence was so low, I forgot who I was. And I don't want that to happen for you guys. I want you to remember how amazing you are, because how I feel about myself right now, I wouldn't trade that for anything. So this is what I want you guys to remember. Write it down, tattoo it on your forehead, whatever you have to do so that you can start putting some aloe vera on that wound and get to healing. Okay, so moving on. First step, how you feel is okay. You do not need to apologize for how you feel. Whether we like it or not, sometimes getting over someone you never even dated can be harder than getting over someone you actually dated. And I think that has a lot to do, you know, when you're in a relationship, you kind of get to see the good and the bad. And when you end things, you can remind yourself of all those bad things, right? But when you never dated the person, you don't have those bad things. You just have all the great things, and you have this fantasy of what it could have been and how great it would have been if they would have stayed. And it can be kind of hard to let go of that idea, but recognize that that feeling will fade. Them leaving is not a reflection of you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are enough. You're not too much. You know, all I asked for was like that he be like permanently obsessed with me until we die. I wasn't asking for too much. I was just asking the wrong person. You are not alone. Back home, pretty much all of my friends and my family were either married or in long-term relationships, and I was just over here like, hey. I was always the third wheel. Might I add, I'm a really good third wheel. But thankfully, moving to London made me realize I am not alone in the struggles of being single, because this city is full of single people looking for love and really struggling to find it. Literally had a conversation with my Uber driver about this the other week, and he was even saying that it's really hard for him to find a nice girl that he wants to settle down with. So this isn't just an issue that girls have. There are guys that have this exact same issue. So just remember, you are not alone in the single pool. There's a ton of other people in this pool. It's probably got STDs in it, so make sure you're being safe. But there's a lot of other people in the pool. Stop looking over at the relationship pool, because you'll get there one day. Don't compare your journey to other people's journey. That's what I'm trying to say. Rejection is just redirection. Whatever higher power that you believe in, I truly believe that God has a plan for me and everything's gonna work out. There is something so much better out there for me and you, and it is coming. You just have to be patient. Okay, this next one is so important. You have to want to move on. And this is like the hardest part, because I love doing this. I'm so dramatic. If something awful happens, I'm like, let me just sit here and bask in it. Let me swim in this misery. Ugh, my life is so hard. Why me? You can't do that, okay? Yes, take a day, cry it out, but then snap out of it. You can't play the victim. You can't just sit there and act like the world should stop because one person doesn't like you. The fact that you're even watching this video on your laptop, on your phone, on your tablet, whatever it is, the fact that you're doing that means you're really blessed, okay? You have a freaking Wi-Fi connection, you've got data, you've got some gigs to spare, okay? So there are worse things happening in this world than one dinky person not liking you. Cry it out, eat some chocolate, and then get off the couch, stop being a baby, and move on. You have to want to move on, and you have to want to be happy again. It's really all about how you view it, right? Why would you want to be sad and crying over someone who literally is not sitting and crying about you? How does that seem fair? Don't let them win. Another thing I would say is it's super important to know what your triggers are. For me, one of my triggers is alcohol.
2 shots of vodka.
If you just got your heart broken, avoid alcohol. It is the spawn of Satan. You will get drunk, you will get sad, you will cry, and then you'll text them, and it will be really embarrassing. I'm trying to save you from that, because I did that.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Now it's funny that I think about it, but at the time I was absolutely mortified. So that's the next thing. Write this down. No, actually, don't even write this down, because this is what you're gonna do right now. You're gonna delete their number, unfollow them on all of social media, and block them. Do you hear what I'm saying? Block them. Literally block them. Say it with me. Block them. Block. Block them. It sounds harsh, but I am so about unfollowing people on social media who are not good for your mental health. And seeing a guy that you used to be really into ignore your text messages but constantly look at your Instagram story is really confusing. And you know what? It doesn't put you in a good mood. It's not a good vibe. It's not good for your mental health. You just block them, and then you don't have to see their stuff. You don't have to think about it. You just literally out of sight, out of mind. They're who? I'm sorry, who? I don't know, because I blocked them. And just in general, if you need to, take a break from social media. The gram will not miss you that much. The other thing you need to do is interrupt yourself when you notice you are replaying all of the good times in your head and thinking, oh, remember that time he did this for me and that time he said that? Oh my God, that was so cute. That was so funny. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, we can't do that. We don't do that here. It happened, it's done, it's dead, and it's not coming back. So when you notice that you're replaying all of those super cute things that he or she used to do, just stop. Go read a book, go for a run, go to the park, like literally do anything, get your mind off of it, because sitting there and replaying memories in your head is not gonna help you get over this person. Gonna make it 10 times harder. What you need to do is Focus on you. You don't need to like go crazy, go partying, go find a rebound. Make sure that you love yourself, because really that's the whole thing with moving on. Like if you truly love yourself, you know what you have to offer, you know you're amazing, and you want to get back to that happy place, so you're gonna do everything in your power to get back there. So really the problem isn't that this person left and you just can't get over it. The problem is that you aren't happy just being by yourself. Because I think if you really love yourself and someone walks out that door, instead of clinging to them and being like, oh my God, please don't leave me, please don't leave me, you're gonna be like, okay, bye, next. If you really love yourself, you know it's gonna be fine because you're freaking awesome. I will say though, it can be hard afterwards to trust someone again, right? Because you've been hurt, but you can't live your life like that. You know, it can be tough when you're a nice person and you walk around thinking that everyone else you encounter has the same good intentions that you do. Unfortunately, you're gonna run into people that remind you that is not the case. You will meet people who will take advantage of your weaknesses, use you until they get what they want from you, and then leave you. And you just have to take it as a lesson learned and move on from it. And I think it's important to remember too that there are good people in this world. Don't let this negative experience make you jaded, because there are people out there who would love to treat you like the king or queen that you are. You just have to be patient. So I really hope that if you're watching this and maybe you're going through something similar like this right now, I really hope that you don't let that person win. I hope that you can find it in yourself to truly love who you are and to not let it hold you back from trusting people in the future and falling again. You know, I don't regret what happened. I'm stronger now because of it, and I've never felt more me and comfortable in my skin and happy with the person that I see when I look in the mirror. And I'm not sure if that would have happened had I not gone through this experience. So I hope that this video can help you guys, whatever it is that you're going through. If you have fallen for someone who does not feel the same way, I hope you know that it is not the end of the world. You are loved, you are not alone, and it will get so much better. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's kind of a different video for me, so if you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!